The Forgotten Manor. It was a bitterly cold evening when Emily received the letter. No return address, just a neatly typed message. Your presence is required at the Blackwood Manor. Midnight. Come alone. Emily had never heard of Blackwood Manor. Curiosity mixed with unease tugged at her, but something about the letter drew her in. Ignoring the warnings in her mind, she drove through the foggy countryside, headlights cutting through the thick mist. By the time she reached the manor, the moon had hidden behind clouds, leaving the house cloaked in darkness. Its towering silhouette loomed over her, twisted ivy crawling up its cracked stone walls. The gates creaked as she pushed them open, and a shiver ran down her spine. The air felt heavy, almost alive. As Emily stepped into the grand hall, the doors slammed shut behind her. She was alone, or so she thought. The house smelled of damp wood and something metallic like blood. Portraits of grim-faced ancestors lined the walls, their eyes seeming to follow her every move. A faint whisper echoed through the hall. Emily. She froze. The voice was soft, almost gentle, but carried a weight of warning. She shook her head and decided to explore, hoping it was just the wind. The staircase groaned under her weight as she ascended. Upstairs, the air grew colder, and the whispering became clearer. Don't stay. Emily's flashlight flickered. Shadows moved in the corners of her vision. Doors opened and closed on their own. One particular room caught her attention, a small study with a single candle burning. On the desk lay a diary with her name engraved on the leather cover. Her fingers trembled as she opened it. The diary chronicled her own life, every memory, every fear, every regret. But the entries weren't hers, they were written in a hand that seemed alive, shifting and twitching like it was breathing. One sentence made her blood run cold. You were always meant to come here. Suddenly, the candle blew out. The room plunged into darkness. Emily's heart pounded as the whispering escalated into frantic voices, overlapping, shouting, crying. The shadows on the walls twisted into grotesque forms, reaching for her. She ran, but the manor seemed endless, corridors looping back on themselves, stairs leading to nowhere. She stumbled into the grand ballroom. Dust covered the floor, and a massive chandelier hung precariously from the ceiling. As she looked around, she noticed dozens of figures translucent, barely visible, but their faces were contorted in eternal anguish. They reached out silently, begging for help. And in the center of the room stood a figure taller than the rest, cloaked in darkness. Two burning eyes stared at her. You should not be here, it said, voice deep and echoing. But now that you are, you belong to us. Emily screamed and ran, only to find the doors had vanished. The walls pulsed, breathing like a living creature. The portraits on the walls twisted, their faces screaming silently. The whispers became commands, pushing her toward a spiral staircase leading down into the bowels of the house. In the basement, she found a room lined with mirrors, hundreds of mirrors, all reflecting her terrified face, but each reflection twisted, smiling wickedly, some with blood dripping from eyes and mouths. One mirror rippled like water, and a hand reached out. Emily recoiled, but the hand grabbed her wrist, pulling her forward. The mirror swallowed her, and suddenly she was somewhere else, a shadowy corridor filled with doors. Behind each door were screams of people she didn't recognize, trapped souls crying for release. A voice spoke from the darkness. Every visitor leaves a part of themselves here, and you, Emily, will complete the collection. She ran from door to door, but each led to another mirror, another trap. Time seemed meaningless here. She heard her own voice screaming back at her from all directions, mocking her, warning her, pleading with her. Panic consumed her, and she collapsed in the center of the corridor. Hours or maybe days later, she woke on the front lawn of the manor. The sun was rising, mist dissipating. She was alone, or so she thought. The manor's door creaked open behind her. She turned, heart hammering, but saw nothing. Just the dark silhouette of the house, silently beckoning. Emily tried to leave, but the road back was gone, replaced by endless forest. Panic surged. She realized something horrific. The manor did not want visitors, it wanted residents. And now that it had tasted her fear, it would never let her go. At night, neighbors sometimes saw a figure wandering near the manor, pale and shaking, whispering unintelligible words. Some say it's Emily, trapped between worlds, while the manor waits for the next visitor brave or foolish enough to enter. And in the silence, if you listen carefully, you can hear the whispers, "Come, come, join us."